The following program is underwritten by Barlow's Clam Shack, located at 856 Scenic Highway in Bourne. Barlow's Clam Shack, where the seafood is always fresh.
Hi, and welcome to the March 2024 Bourne Review. I'm Susan Barlow. First, for some headline news and announcements. 2 department heads in Bourne were let go. Facilities Director Sean Feeney was arrested on March 14th at his home in Falmouth. Police investigated Mr. Feeney for the removal of a box of fireworks from the Bourne Fire Department's headquarters. The investigation also uncovered that Mr. Feeney tried to alter security footage of the incident and otherwise impede the investigation by Bourne PD. Town Administrator Marlene McCullum said that she spoke with Mr. Feeney on March 11th and he confessed. She then gave him the option either to be fired or resign. He chose resignation. His confession led to the police investigation, resulting in his arrest. A pretrial hearing has been scheduled for April 12th. Bourne's health agent, Terry Garino, was fired. Town Administrator Marlene McCullum said that Ms. Garino was fired due to an incident that happened last fall, but that she only found out about it this past month. As yet, no details have been released about the incident. Ms. Garino was hired as head of our health department back in 2015 after the retirement of longtime health agent Cynthia Coffin. Here's a definite sign of spring. Campers are back at the Bourne Scenic Park, located in Buzzards Bay along the canal. The park was founded in 1951 as an area for picnics and camping, with about 200 campsites. It's now doubled in size to 439 sites. 408 have electric. And there's also some new cabins and lodges. It's owned and operated by the Bourne Recreation Authority on land that's leased from the Army Corps of Engineers. Bourne Youth Baseball gave a big shout out to the Bourne DPW for their great job on revitalizing Pocasset Baseball Field. And registration is now open for Bourne Youth Baseball. Sign up today. Registration is also open for Youth Girls Softball, grades K through 8. For more information, you can contact Eric Anderson at ericwilliamanderson@gmail.com or contact Glenn Gifford at teamwazoo@comcast.net. The T.S. Kennedy is back at the Mass Maritime Academy. It was transferred to Texas A&M Maritime Academy in Galveston, Texas last year. But since the Mass Maritime Academy's new ship isn't ready yet, the Kennedy is back on loan so that MMA cadets can finish their 2024 Cadet Sea term. Here are some beautiful photos taken by Wayne Collymore of the T.S. Kennedy. Speaking of ships and vessels, the Mayflower II, the historic reproduction of the ship that brought the Pilgrims to the shores of historic Pawtucket in 1620, will begin her journey back to the State Pier in Plymouth on or about April 9th, 10th, or 11th. The journey should take about 20 to 25 hours to complete. The ship will depart Mystic Seaport Museum, where it's been undergoing routine maintenance during the winter. The ship will likely pass through the Cape Cod Canal in the early morning hours of the day following its departure from Mystic, before arriving in Plymouth. You can keep an eye out for the ship on marinetraffic.com. On Tuesday, March 28th, the Bourne Senior Center's Bridge Cafe reopened with a new chef. Jean Lanahan has joined the Council on Aging to prepare lunch on Wednesdays and Thursdays at the Bourne Community Building for seniors 60 years and older. Chef Lanahan was the owner and founder of Eastwind Lobster and Grill on Main Street in Buzzards Bay for 30 years. Since her retirement in 2002, Ms. Lanahan has enjoyed teaching cooking classes in our area and also making some cooking videos. The visitor information booth has finally made its way over to the VFW across from Grey Gables Market, where it will now be used as a thrift store for veterans. A town-wide Easter egg hunt was held on March 24th. Hundreds of kids and parents turned out for an egg hunt complete with 72 carved wooden character cutouts, all done by Shelby Lynn Palmer of Buzzards Bay and hosted by 72 residents in their yards around town. There were 14,000 plastic eggs next to the cutouts filled with candy and small prizes for the kids to find. It was a huge hit and will certainly be growing next year. She's going to need some help with the volunteers. If you'd like to help out with this community event next Easter, you can find out more on her Facebook page, which is how she has been organizing this event. Well done, and thank you. Another amazing community member, Jennifer Donald Kennedy, organizes the Born on the 4th of July parade. She's looking for sponsors, donations, and participants. They want to make this the best parade ever and would love to have more participants. So if you're interested, please email bornjulyparade@gmail.com. On March 28th, Town Administrator Marlene McCullum brought forward another proposed location for construction of a Southside fire station. It is a 3.4-acre parcel in one corner of approximately 43 acres along Shore Road, under conservation protection of Article 97 as open space. It will have to be removed from Article 97 protection in order for us to build on it. It will require unanimous approval of the Bourne Conservation Commission, and a town meeting warrant article will be presented at the May special town meeting for voter approval. March 5th was Super Tuesday in Massachusetts, and voter turnout was at about 30 to 35% of registered voters in Bourne. Former presidential candidate Nikki Haley racked up 1,029 votes, almost 35% of the Republican vote, while Mr. Trump garnered 1,827 votes. There are 15,898 registered voters in Bourne, and about 5,000 of them voted in person or by mail. Democrats captured 2,038 votes in Bourne, and Republicans received 2,410 votes. Libertarians received 33 votes. Cape Cod Community College accounting students are offering free tax prep 3 days a week leading up to April 15th. The students are certified by the IRS and provide assistance through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program of the IRS. They are available by appointment every Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. No walk-ins. To schedule your appointment, email vita@capecod.edu or give them a call at 774-330-4923. Now for our top stories. Air National Guardsman Jack Texera has pleaded guilty to 6 counts of federal charges violating the Espionage Act by leaking classified materials from the 102nd Intelligence Wing located at Joint Base Cape Cod. It is considered one of the worst leaks of classified materials in our military history. He had originally entered a not guilty plea and faced up to 60 years in prison if found guilty. This plea deal will reduce his sentence to 11 to 17 years. The PBS TV series Frontline did an episode all about Mr. Teixeira and the leak called The Discord Leaks in 2023. You can find it on YouTube. The race for seats on the Select Board has heated up. Former DPW Director Sean Patterson pulled papers along with his nephew Daniel M. Deegan of Buzzards Bay. Sean Patterson was the former DPW Director in Bourne, but left the position after a meeting with Town Administrator Maureen McCullum on May 5, 2023, in what he described as contentious and uncomfortable, and as though he were being set up and intentionally humiliated in front of colleagues. He first took a leave of absence, saying he would return to the DPW position if Ms. McCullum would leave her position. That didn't happen. He is now with the DPW in Marshfield. Jack McDonald, known as a local historian and preservationist, also pulled papers. Mary Jane Mastrangelo is up for re-election to the board and has pulled her papers, along with current planning board member Jean Azarovitz. Jared McDonald is the second seat that's up for re-election, but he is not running for a third term. All are running for those two spots that are available on the board. 4 people have pulled papers for the 2 spots open on the Recreation Authority. Incumbents Louis Gallo and Joseph Klusevic have pulled papers, as well as Robert L. Buckley, the third of Sagamore Beach, and Christopher McCarthy of Monument Beach. Completed nomination papers must be returned to the Town Hall by 5 p.m. on April 2nd. The supermarket Aldi will open in the former Christmas tree shop in downtown Falmouth. Aldi has signed a 10-year lease for the location in the Falmouth Plaza next door to Cappy Liquors. There are 21 Aldi stores in Massachusetts, and this would be the first one on Cape Cod. There are also Aldi stores in nearby Wareham, Plymouth, Dartmouth, Raynham, and Fall River. The Germany-based food chain announced it will be adding 800 new stores by the end of 2028. The chain says there's a huge demand for low-cost groceries as food prices continue to increase. Aldi is the common company brand name of 2 German multinational family-owned discount supermarket chains operating over 12,000 stores in 18 countries. The chain was founded by brothers Karl and Theo Albrecht in 1946 when they took over their mother's store in East Germany. There are now 2 Aldis, Aldi Nord and the sibling company Aldi Süd, meaning Aldi North and South. They are owned by the 2 brothers Theo and Karl Albrecht. They split the company in 1960 after a dispute about whether to sell cigarettes. Theo's Aldi North would operate in the north of Germany, while Karl's Aldi South would operate in Germany's south. In 1971, Theo Albrecht was kidnapped. A ransom of 7 million German marks, about $2 million US at the time, was paid for his release. The kidnapping partially explains his and his family's hermit-like manner of existence. The kidnapping caused him to drive to work in an armored car using a different route every day. Little is known about Theo and Albrecht families' personal lives. The Albrecht family members are known to be very reclusive and have been described by Forbes as more reclusive than the Yeti. Currently, Aldi South runs stores in the US, the UK, Australia, and Eastern Europe, while Aldi North operates stores in Western and Southern Europe. To make things more confusing, in 1979, Aldi North, that operates in Europe, purchased U.S. operations of Trader Joe's, which had been founded in California in 1958. Trader Joe's operates as a separate division of the parent company Aldi North. In 1962, they introduced the name Aldi, short for Albrecht Discount. This is the fourth grocery store in a cluster of about 1 mile or so in downtown Falmouth. They include Stop & Shop, Shaw's, Windfall Market, and now Trader Joe's. Bourne has one supermarket, Market Basket, located at the edge of town near the Sagamore Bridge, and two smaller neighborhood markets, Grey Gables Market and the Picasset Market. The Christmas tree shop in Sagamore is now Tulp Outdoors, a pop-up store for high-end furniture with a short-term lease. Here's what's happening downtown. There's a new thrift store in downtown Buzzards Bay at 111 Main Street, across from Buzzards Bay Park and the Splash Pad. I stopped by and met with the new owner, Vinny Doheny.
Welcome, this is Vindo's Vintage. So here at Vindo's Vintage, our main goal here is to resell furniture at a very cheap price, mainly keep things out of the landfill. We run a company, my cousin Vinny's Junk Removal, so a lot of these items here that you see were from a clean out. We are very new here. We've been in business now about 3 to 4 weeks. Vindo is actually what they used to call my dad growing up. My name is Vinny Doheny, so Vindo for short. And yeah, we're really looking forward to what the future holds. Right now, the weekends 10 to 3. After Memorial Day, we aim to open somewhere between like Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 4, 10 to 5. We're just trying to balance a couple of businesses right now, so it's a little bit tough. But that's the main goal here. So thank you for joining us, and if you're in the mood for a good thrift, feel free to come on down to 111 Main Street, Buzzards Bay. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
The former AZEX shoe store located at 140 Main Street in Buzzards Bay was demolished on March 10th. The building was over 100 years old. It was constructed back in 1913 by Thomas Wallace. Mr. Wallace leased the building to J.F. Sturdy and Sons Company, and it became a jewelry manufacturing facility. Charlie Wallace sold the building in 1975 to the Azak family for the shoe store called Mr. Sneakers outlet, which later became known as Azak's. The Wallace family owned many properties in Buzzards Bay, and the Wallace homestead is now what is St. Margaret's Rectory. The new building will be a mixed-use complex with commercial space on the ground floor and 6 apartments above. The demolition was approved by the Historic Commission. It was thought that not much of the original building had remained, and therefore didn't need saving. Well, you just never know what you're going to see in Buzzards Bay Park. I was walking by last weekend and saw jousting practice taking place. I took a double take and thought, King Arthur's Fair? Who knows? Here's an update on town services. The Bourne Recycling Center is asking that you do not include any hoses, ropes, or any items that can cause tangling in the recycling machinery. Please put those items in the trash. Also at the Recycling Center, you can recycle your boat shrink wrap from April 1st through June 30th. There's no fees or stickers required. Residents can participate free of charge, but make sure your recycling wrap is properly prepared for recycling. Let's keep plastic and plastic waste out of our waters and conserve our valuable landfill. It's a free and easy way to protect Cape Cod's environment. The Bourne Recreation Department is hosting a fishing derby for kids on Saturday, June 1st from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Queen Sewell Pond at Cherry Street in Buzzards Bay. It's $5 for ages 3 to 14. Prizes are awarded by age group for the largest and most fish caught. Register today at bournerec.com. They're also offering a program, Navigating Social Wellness, a teen empowerment series. It'll be held Wednesdays, May 1st through the 22nd from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. for ages 11 through 15. It's free to Bourne residents. It'll be held at the Bourne Community Center, Room 3. Here's what's happening at the library. Are you thinking about planting some seeds in your garden this spring? There's a free seed library at the library. Stop by and check out the card catalog that has been repurposed and relabeled as a seed library. You can pick up vegetable or flower seeds. For more help with gardening, on April 10th at 6 p.m., come over to the library for an organic seed starting lecture and demonstration. Explore some of the latest techniques for growing and using herbs and vegetables and containers in the garden. Paul Splitt is a nationally recognized designer and presenter of green workshops and lectures. All participants will receive an assortment of seed packages. On Saturday, April 13th from 1 to 2:15 p.m., join Mary Chiappo, an ecological landscape designer and educator based in Sagamore Beach, as she talks about attracting pollinators with healthy practices in our backyards. Marie will share tips for how to create healthy and beautiful landscapes that wildlife will love. No registration is required. Nicholas Schiller presents Tuesday Tech Talks beginning on April 23rd. They will go through the Privacy Reset Checklist article from the Washington Post on how to protect your data. Bring your phone and social media logins, and together with Nicholas, you can go down the list and set your accounts for better privacy and safety. The Uptuxet Garden Club of Bourne is hosting Why Do Trees Matter for Arbor Day. It's an Arbor Day poster contest for students preschool through grade 12. Create a poster that tells why trees are important and drop it off at the children's room at the library by April 24th. Be sure to include your name, phone number, and age on the back of your poster. Also in celebration of Arbor Day, the Garden Club is hosting free soil testing. You can pick up a form at the library. Soil will be tested by the Master Gardeners of Cape Cod. Drop off your sample from 3 to 4:30 p.m. at the library on April 26th. On April 27th, the library will present a talk by Justice Dennis J. Curran on Lincoln, the life, the law, and the leadership of President Lincoln. This talk is held at 1 p.m. Did you know you can schedule an appointment for a notary, tech help, or research help? Schedule your individual appointments online by visiting bournelibrary.org. Did you know the library hosts 2 book clubs? In April, the Wednesday Readers Book Club will be reading Two Old Women, an Alaskan Legend of Betrayal, Courage, and Survival by Velma Wallace. They'll meet at 2 p.m. in person in the library on April 17th. The Mystery Book Club is reading The Shape of Water by Andrea Camilleri. It will meet remotely on Thursday, April 25th by Zoom at 6:30 p.m. Contact the library for more information, 508-759-0600, extension 6102. There are so many other community events and activities available through the library that it's impossible to list them all. So visit the library website and check out the Programs and Events tab for complete listings month by month for adults and the very popular children's programs. If you're 60 years and older, the Bourne Council on Aging has lots of programs for you. The Bridge Respite program will be beginning in mid-April. If you're interested, call Alyssa Lynch, the Respite Care Manager, at 508-759-0600, extension 5231 for more information. A Veterans Coffee Hour will be held on April 10th at 9 a.m. The Bridge Cafe is open Wednesdays and Thursdays for senior dining from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. The weekly menu's posted on the website and in the front lobby. There'll be soups, sandwiches, and desserts. The Cape Cod Baseball League with Dan Dunn will give a talk on Tuesday, April 9th at 11 a.m. at the Council on Aging. Call the office to register. There's also team trivia with Rodney Weston on Tuesday, April 16th at 11 a.m. And look out for a new Zumba class starting in May. Details will be forthcoming. There's lots more programming at the Council on Aging, and you can see a complete listing. Go to townofbourne.com, click on Council on Aging, select newsletters from the menu on the left. Here's a look at the calendar. Bourne newcomers and neighbors will hold a lunch and learn talk over at the library. You can learn all about life on a boat in Boston Harbor Marina from Darrell and Mary Smith. The talk is held at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring your lunch. Registration is required. It's $5 for Bourne newcomers and neighbor members and $7 for guests. For more information about this talk and to join newcomers and neighbors, visit bournenewcomers.org. On April 20th, it's the 23rd Annual Cape Cod Canal Cleanup from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It starts off at the Herring Run Recreation Area at 810 Scenic Highway. Cleanup supplies will be provided. If you have any questions, call 978-318-8622. The Bourne Historical Society will once again host Daffodil Days at the Museums at Tuxet on Saturday, April 13th from 10 a.m. to 3. They'll have grilled food, a craft fair, some live music, free crafts for kids, including flower crowns and fairy houses built with natural materials. It will be held rain or shine. The fair is ongoing throughout the week with additional craft classes Monday through Friday. That's April 13th through the 20th. For more information, visit bournehistoricalsociety.org. On May 18th, the Buzzards Bay Eagles will hold the 3rd annual Walk With Us, benefiting Toka's Friends to raise funds supporting training for service dogs for military veterans who suffer from PTSD and other difficulties. There will be music, food, and a variety of vendors. That's May 18th at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sign up at buzzardsbayeagles.com. Here are some wonderful photos taken by area photographers showing the beauty that surrounds us. Well, thanks so much for watching this episode of the Bourne Review, and I'll see you next time.
The preceding program was underwritten by Barlow's Clam Shack, located at 856 Scenic Highway in Bourne. Barlow's Clam Shack, where the seafood is always fresh.